So let's begin with the Mail on Sunday, Francis.
So this is a story about a BBC editor who was hired as an expert witness to help at least 15 Somalian criminals fight deportation. And the details in these cases are just horrifying. So one of them suggested that she represented a violent criminal convicted of assault and robbery would be a risk from terrorists in Somalia, as his tattooed arms would be seen as a sign of homosexuality. Yeah. And so she was brought out again and again and again as a paid expert witness to basically argue on behalf of these criminals why they shouldn't be deported. And these are criminals who have been accused of some of the most heinous crimes, attacking girls with learning difficulties, being involved in fights in possession of a knife, which actually is pretty much our culture. But anyway, so what we're seeing right now with this particular case is the immigration system, it simply doesn't work.
It's obviously, I mean, this story has, I assume, been sort of turbo boosted onto the front page in light of the chemical attack this week. But they are tying it in to some extent with the BBC. I don't know whether they're using the Mail on Sunday. Obviously, no friends of the BBC. Does that seem legitimate to you?
Well, I think everybody is watching the BBC. Half the population doesn't trust the BBC, and the other half doesn't trust the BBC but likes the BBC. The fact is that this is just proof they don't pay BBC people enough money, that they've got to go get extra work doing this.
I don't know whether she was making a lot of money out of it, but it does seem to suggest a certain kind of
she was paid.
Sympathy, I suppose. Yeah, she was paid for witness evidence. Yeah,
but we don't know how much she was paid. However, she did leave the BBC, but the BBC could not confirm or deny the fact that she'd been fired.
Interesting. I mean, there is, as I say, at this point, we feel more than anything that we simply don't know what's going on. It doesn't feel like the situation is under control. Would that be fair?
Yeah, and I think that represents a large swathe of this country who feel probably quite accurately that what we have in this country is now slowly descending into chaos.
I disagree with you, Simon. People out there, they know what's going on. Everybody knows what's going on. The country's being screwed. The Tories are screwing them. The BBC is screwing them.
But do you think, I mean, obviously there's a suspicion with the level of immigration that it's at, that there's hypocrisy in cant when they promise to bring it down and it goes up by such enormous amounts. But does that necessarily, do you feel that they are indifferent to these kind of people being here, or that it's just accepted as collateral?
Well, obviously they're indifferent. I mean, they've basically opened the borders up to these people coming in, and everybody knows they're not the best kind of people coming into this country, unlike me, who's brought tremendous amount of culture and class.
Excellent. Very good.